Morning, this is a special coverage of the coronavirus crisis using the combined forces of News 5 and Cignal TV's One News, Radio 5, and 1PH. More than 6 million families have already benefited from government's emergency cash subsidy program, according to the President's latest weekly report. But that's only 1/3 of the total target of 18 million families. Under the report sent to Congress, more than 3 million families who are beneficiaries of the Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program, or 4Ps, have received financial aid. 2.5 million families who are not part of the 4Ps program received cash relief. A total of 40,000 families whose incomes rely on transportation services also received financial aid. In total, the DSWD has disbursed 31 billion pesos for the social amelioration program. The department is targeting to help 18 million low-income families all in all. Talks of a second round of SAP are also ongoing, according to the DSWD. Those who will qualify for SAP can receive up to 8,000 pesos for 2 months, or 8,000 pesos each month for 2 months, depending on which region they are residing. After having 45 of its health workers infected by the coronavirus, the RITM, or the Research Institute for Tropical Medicine, now confirms that 38 among them have fully recovered. 7 remain under quarantine but are now in stable condition with mild to no symptoms. The recovered health workers from the RITM have gotten back to work. Last week, the RITM tested over 1,000 of its employees, most of which have already gotten their results. The Bureau of Immigration is being urged to see whether there is a need to have a Spanish national in Makati deported following an altercation with police. Senator Panfilo Lacson, who is a former PNP chief, says the Bureau should act swiftly if a deportation proceeding is in order. The Makati City Police has already said that it is looking to file charges against the expat who was seen in a viral video confronting and cursing uniformed personnel. Lacson insisted that arrogance against authorities has no place in the country. 4 major real estate developer groups are urging the government to allow the resumption of construction work for housing projects amid the enhanced community quarantine. In a video conference with the Human Settlements and Urban Development Department, the Subdivision and Housing Developers Association, Chamber of Real Estate and Builders Association, Socialized and Economic Housing Developers of the Philippines, and the National Real Estate Association argue that the housing industry can be an economic pump primer as the business sector expects huge losses because of the COVID-19 crisis. They estimate that around 4 million workers in the housing industry are affected by the suspension of construction projects because of the ECQ. The president earlier hinted that construction workers might be allowed to get back to work soon, as the government is considering to implement a modified community quarantine scheme. Authorities shut down a clinic run by a Chinese resident in Parañaque that was operating without the proper permits. Residents say that several Chinese nationals frequent the clinic, located in an old commercial building in Barangay Baclaran. Upon investigation, authorities found various medicines with Chinese labels. These include medications for severe infections like STD, or sexually transmitted diseases, and UTI, or urinary tract infections. Barangay officials also confiscated the alleged medicines for the treatment of COVID-19. These have been turned over to the Food and Drug Administration for further inspection. Now, apart from questionable medicines, the clinic also has no license to operate from the DOH, according to the city's Public Health Department.
Kung pumapasok doon ng mga tao for treatment, nakakatakot yun. Kasi walang infection prevention control. Very dangerous, and that they are not even licensed by the Department of Health, and that wala silang FDA approval of the medicines.
And that's the latest on the enhanced and expanded community quarantine. For more updates, follow News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World Online. I'm Ed Lingao. We are One News.